plaintiff, Leada Marshall, says while dating the defendant, their relationship was toxic. So they ended up getting married because they thought it would help things. Leada claims their marriage was riddled with abuse and infidelity, and the defendant even got another woman pregnant. She's suing her ex for car payments. Defendant Dion Williams says while married to Leada, he became scared of her erratic behavior. Dion claims Leada once scaled a 3-story building looking for him, and another time he had to pepper spray her to get her off of him.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
So I met Dan January 2012. I was a bartender at the time. Him and his friends came in. We connected, and afterwards we exchanged numbers. And he's a very charismatic, funny, outgoing guy. So we got into a relationship. Things started moving pretty fast. We moved in together.
How long after meeting each other did you move in?
Probably a couple of months after that. Probably
meeting
like June,
after meeting?
June
okay.
2012. And then so things moved fast. Things began to get unhealthy and like a kind of a toxic relationship. But we tried to make it work.
How so?
I became isolated. I isolated from my friends. He didn't like my friends, so I stopped hanging out with my friends. But we still tried to make it work. I cut them off, and then we ended up getting married August 2012, thinking that would make things better, but it didn't. I got pregnant like shortly afterwards. I had a miscarriage, and I was devastated about that. And then things just kept getting worse and worse. It was just a very unhealthy relationship. It was mentally abusive, physically abusive. It just wasn't healthy. And like it became to the point where I was constantly being talked about, and like it just ate away at me, ate at my self-esteem. I became isolated from my family. Like even they noticed that I became a different person. And then
all this in the course of what time
within
frame?
a year.
One
That's
year?
in a year. Yeah. So then moving forward, like in October of 2015, I ended up finding out he got another woman pregnant, and so that kind of devastated me because I was trying to get pregnant. I had 2 miscarriages at that point.
While you all were married?
Yeah, we were still married at the time.
Pregnant?
So that hurt me even more. Found out he had another woman pregnant, and then a month later, I found out I was pregnant with our daughter Madison. So I was stressed out because I had previous miscarriages, and then now I know he has babies by another woman, and so I ended up having Madison early. She was born at 23 weeks, 1 pound, 3 ounces. Wow. So there's just the stress of that relationship and just her being born early. It's just a lot. Like I should have.
How's her health now?
No, she's doing amazing now. She's walking. She's doing like no one can tell she's born that early. Like she's doing amazing.
Okay.
But just like that.
Yeah, she did good. She grew up pretty fast. You. Was that you? She seems supportive like a daughter. She's sitting there. She used to have a good friend. If she's not your daughter, she's a good friend. She comes looking very supportive today. Sir, let me hear from you. Give me some background.
So like she said, we met in January 2012. Within 8 months, we decided to get married at the Justice of Peace in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. About a couple months after we were married, she started accusing me of cheating, at which that point I wasn't doing anything. Then she started displaying this manic behavior. I would say more so like a /human/mutant behavior. She would
describe that.
So basically,
inhuman. What?
I've never seen a human being fly until I saw her. So she was climbing up apartment buildings looking for me, 3-story apartment buildings.
Ma'am, is this true?
No, it's not, sir. Yeah. Like the whole relationship just toxic.
Man ain't made this up. Go ahead.
I'm not making this up.
You climbed up a building looking for... Yes, you did. Go ahead.
Not only that, she used to, it'd be days where we'd get in an argument over the phone. And at the time, I was staying with my roommate when we first got married, this gentleman right here, Patrick Small. She would come to the house, and I would tell her not to come over because, you know, let's diffuse things. I don't want no drama, no issues. She would get the fire extinguisher and try to break my door down. So at that point, I just knew something was up. Even after that, she hit a 007 move with the car. When my father came and picked me up, she took the car and skirted in the middle of the street and hopped out the car and said, "You ain't going nowhere." So I got scared. It's been times where I tried to get out the apartment building, she'd jump on my back, punch me, scratch me. I even went to the point of pepper spraying her, and that didn't even work.
He had to pepper spray you, ma'am?
Yeah, that whole relationship was just very abusive. Like, I've had black eyes, I've had...
No,
like,
but Did you attack him at all?
No, I didn't attack him.
You never attacked him?
Yes, we fought, but I never attacked him. Like, it's been points where he thrown my phone, but I've never physically
You've never initiated any
No,
physical?
I've never initiated anything.
The car incident never happened?
Yes, that did happen. We trying to, because he had a car that was in my name, and he tried to drive off in my car. So I was trying to get my car back.
Jumping on his back?
No, I never jumped on his back, no. We did have altercations where we did get into fights, but I never jumped on his back.
He sounded convincing, ma'am. I can believe he did some physical stuff, too. I can believe that.
Okay.
But you're beyond that because you're divorced now, right?
Yes, we are.
Tell me how that happened.
So in March of 2016, he filed for divorce. I guess that was a way of kind of getting my attention, which was actually to put a fire under me to say, I got to get out this relationship. Me having a daughter, I never want her to think that this kind of relationship is healthy or a man should treat a woman this way. But to me, that was my way of saying.
He filed it with the government?
Correct.
No,
that
wasn't just...
But he's filed it twice, though.
He meant that.
No, he's filed it twice.
He wasn't trying to get your attention. He's trying to get out, ma'am.
No,
but go ahead. What did happen? He filed for divorce, and what occurred?
So we filed for divorce, and we officially divorced of May 2016.
Okay, now what are you suing him on? Car payments.
So in November of 2015, at that point, that's when I was getting off maternity leave with my daughter, and we only had one car, and I was going back to work, and I needed to be able to take her to school or daycare and me to get to work. So he asked me to put a car in my name because his credit was messed up. So I agreed to it, thinking that because he said that he would pay for it, he'd do whatever it took to make sure the car note was paid. And me, I trusted him because he said he'll get a second job and do whatever it took to make sure this car note was paid. But then during that time of us during that divorce time, that's when the payments just stopped. And that was February of 2016. I've been texting him, I have text messages and emails of me asking him over and over to pay for the car. And he's saying he'll pay for it 1 week. The next week he'll say he doesn't have the money. Or next week he just tell me, like, I'm not paying it.
Okay, well, that wasn't addressed in the divorce?
No, it wasn't.
That was supposed to have been addressed in the divorce?
Before the divorce, he told me he said not to worry about it in the court. We'd just take care of ourselves. And I trusted him to think that he would take care of it.
Let's hear from you, sir.
The car, it was marital property at the time.
Right.
So,
thank you for teaching me the law.
October of 2015, I ended up finding out he got another woman pregnant, and so that kind of devastated me because I was trying to get pregnant. I had 2 miscarriages at that point.
While you all were married?
Yeah, we were still married at the time.
Pregnant.
So I ended up having Madison early. She was born at 23 weeks, 1 pound, 3 ounces. So there's just the stress of that relationship and just her being born early, it's just a lot.
Defendant Dion Williams is being sued by his ex-wife, who claims while married, Dion got another woman pregnant.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we got the vehicle. She had just filed bankruptcy. She was able to get a car in her name. I had already had apartments and stuff in my name that we didn't keep because of the fighting and stopped working, losing jobs. So in February, we stopped falling behind on payments or whatever. I filed a divorce. I would tell her that I would pay the car, but we agreed that, I lost my job, so we agreed to each other that once.
Why didn't you make that a part of the divorce? You're the one filed. Why didn't you make that a part of the divorce filing?
Because it wasn't in my name. So.
Well, still, it was division of property. You the one just said it was marital property. Judge, let me teach you the law. Well, teach me the second part too, and that is when you file for divorce, you list all marital property. Go ahead. You didn't put it in your filing.
Right, didn't put it in my filing.
You knew it was marital property. Now, I can claim he defrauded you now. You can't jump out there on me. Yeah. When you jump out there on me, it never works. Marital property. Well, why didn't you put it in the filing? You listed it because it's such and such. Oh, that's so. But no, ma'am, you're going to have to return to the judge. You can't make a side agreement outside of the divorce decree. If the divorce decree did not mention this marital property that you all owned together, then you must go back to the court to have it modified and list in that amended petition for divorce. And you say, we forgot, essentially, to mention the car issue. And this is the car issue. then the judge will determine what they think is fair, what he or she thinks is fair.
So even though he's like, I have text messages from him, and like even afterwards, I asked for the car back, and the only way I was able to even get the car back is because he crashed it and left it on the side of the road, and basically like, come get the car because it was on the side of the road. And so now I have a $5,000 debt on that car to even get the car fixed.
Once again, you all overlooked disposing of a piece of marital property. And I can't, as another judge, go behind the other judge and say, well, judge, I know they forgot to list it, so I'm going to handle it. And this is the way it's going to go down. He can go to that judge and appeal. Judge, you ordered that I don't know what the order said, who has it, but typically these type of orders say that you maintain whatever a person has in their possession.
So
that's who owns what. What does it say? Judgment of divorce on the property. It wasn't addressed at all?
No.
See, I mean, you all had more property than the car, didn't you?
No, we didn't.
No.
That's all you all had,
Yeah,
is the car and the clothes on your back.
Yeah.
All right. In this instance, all we can go by is the law. Marital property that wasn't disposed of at the divorce must be disposed of by a petition. Otherwise, whoever has possession is the presumed owner of the vehicle, along with the presumed responsibilities.
So
Yes.
even we had a contract, we had a verbal contract of him saying that he would pay.
Yeah, you hear nothing I just said.
I heard everything you said.
That's a side deal you all made outside of what the judge ruled, and that's not enforceable. Have a good day. Claim dismissed. Go petition the court.
Oh, well, we don't have a relationship at all. He barely sees his daughter, and so we just don't have a relationship at all.
I wish you the best. God bless you. That's it.